So everyone, and welcome to the channel, and this is my first video of 2024, but I thought I'd make my first video of 2024 a little bit of a look back over what happened in 2023, and I couldn't find a way of doing a montage because there were so many videos that I either really enjoyed or there were snippets of, and I suddenly started thinking, well actually why not produce my top 5? Well, with 50 odd videos over the year, that was quite hard to whittle down, so I've come up with a list of my top 5, which did actually take some thinking about. I've got a list right here, and I'm going to talk through and give you a little bit of a snapshot of the special moments of each of that video. So going to the first one, and it has to be something I've wanted to do for a long time. It was when I went fly camping or flamping with my friend Paul to Stoke Golding, and here we are on part of the trip. So again, this man keeps appearing in videos, but he actually comes up with really good ideas. So we're going to go fly camping to Stoke Golding and see how we get on.
Flamping.
Flamping?
Flamping.
Yeah, I keep forgetting it's called flamping, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Paul said he feels really awkward as he starts vlogging, so I thought I'd start vlogging.
Well, I'm new to this YouTube thing, and I'm still at the stage where I feel like an idiot stood in a field talking to this.
To a camera.
You clearly don't mind looking like an idiot, because it's...
It comes naturally. So in the fact that actually we've got, not saying we've got nothing to do, we're just enjoying having nothing to do, aren't we?
Nothing.
We're literally just enjoying the scenery here. And we come onto the topic of tents. I'm just going to show you this now. I didn't realise this until I actually looked at it. It's ready? It's like a shark's fin. That's... And I said to Paul, I said you might want to turn it into wind, at which point he said there isn't any, which is good. But then actually you look at the
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're measuring me up, aren't you?
So I had a wonderful night's sleep. Paul, how was your night's sleep?
Not great.
Not great?
No.
Was that the doner kebab bot noodle, or was it the neighbours?
Partly doner kebab noodle, partly listening to the neighbours' rendition of Hi Ho Silver Lining.
So I really hope you enjoyed that and can see why Paul and I had such a laugh on that trip, and as I think we've got a few camping trips lined up for this year when I can get myself away from work. So video number 2 is when Brendan and I went for lunch, and it sounds a bit sad flying to a pie shop, but the pies at near Dairy House Farm are just super. I mean, it was worth the trip. And if you could bottle that, you know, if Carlsberg could make flying trips, that would have been it, because it was a lovely day, friends flying together, and we went for some food. So again, here's a few more of the snippets of that video. However, here's the key bit. How did you feel that the PeaBee handled against an XL?
Well, they're not chalk and cheese. It's either cheese and cheese or chalk and chalk.
So he's just doing his final checks.
It's going to be Golf Lima Romeo, ready to roll?
Golf Oscar India from Golf Lima Romeo, happy behind you, all checks complete my end. I'll follow you out. Okay, on neutral, I'm happy. Full power. Visibility today is fantastic. See for miles. It's lovely. Slight crosswind from the right. Right, all landing checks complete. Dairy House traffic, Golf Lima Romeo, final runway 30, Dairy House.
Dairy House traffic, Golf Romeo, final number 2.
Come on, come down. That's pretty much an hour.
Golf Lima Romeo, thank you.
Bit more.
So, was it worth the flight? It's like when you go into a restaurant that someone always asks you a question just as you take a bite of food. So I've just done that, haven't I?
You have. And I took a bite
Of the
a little too soon.
A little too soon.
So it's burnt my lip.
Oh no!
It's like being on holiday, Giles.
Is it?
Absolutely like being on holiday.
It's pretty nice, isn't it? Not bad for a day off during the week.
Sit in the shade as well. It's so warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Was it worth the flight over?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a lovely pie shop. Sherry.
It's like.
Over.
Are you all right? It's like being on holiday, isn't
On
it?
holiday. We're on holiday today, definitely.
I'm on holiday.
Sun shining.
So we've.
Different environment.
You know, so we've stuffed our faces a little bit and we're now walking back. We're going to have a chill out and then get the aircraft ready to fly back.
Finish drinking the PG.
Got the PG and fancy a barbecue. Should we fly to a fly-in?
Go to a fly-in this afternoon.
Yeah, where?
Anywhere where there's a barbecue and a fly-in.
We're at Darley Moor.
Is there one at Darley Moor?
Should we go back?
Let's go to Darley Moor then.
So we're off back to Darley Moor. There's a barbecue there tonight.
Doesn't he?
Yep, bonkers. Anyway, we'll wrap this up soon. So yes, as you can see, the joy of flying in warm sunshine, warm conditions just makes flying a lot easier. Although I do like flying in winter because it's so stable, just sometimes it's easy to have less kit on. You can see I'm a little bit dressed up at the moment. The video that's coming next is part of the Low and Slow to Balado trip. So if you haven't seen that, here's a link to where the video files are for that one. It was an amazing few days of flying, and I think just some memories were made on that trip. But for me, the pinnacle was the zone transit through Edinburgh, over Edinburgh, seeing airliners take off and flying down Edinburgh High Street in single-seaters was just breathtaking, and I really couldn't believe I was doing it. So again, here's a few snippets from that trip.
That's so cool!
I think...
Try and bump starting.
Take off!
Let's just do a zone trandy on the edge of a gust front with my motor dropping out the sky. It's raining, the gusts are coming through. We've got a sea crossing, we've got to stay below altitude, we've got to talk to air traffic control. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Charles, do you want to do that?
Edinburgh radars, Golf Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Romeo requesting zone transit.
Golf Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Romeo, Edinburgh radar, it's basic service, packet details.
Basic service requesting Kelty, Bridges, overhead, Arthur's Seat and Musselburgh Ridge racecourse. Golf Lima Romeo.
Golf Lima Romeo. I understand there's 3 of you, is that information, is that correct?
AFM, total 3 aircraft on my call sign.
Golf Lima Romeo, yeah, and also non-transponded.
AFM, only ADSB and FLARM.
Golf Lima Romeo, what's your current position at this moment in time?
Current position, Abeam Port Oak Reservoir.
Golf Foxtrot, Whiskey Lima Romeo, Roger, clear to enter controlled airspace. You'll be routing via Kelty Bridges, overhead, Arthur Seat, Musselburgh, via farm, not above altitude, 2,000 feet. No problem, thanks. Golf Lima Romeo, just report when you're approaching the north side of the 4th road bridges, please.
Report north side of the centre bridges. Golf Lima Romeo.
Golf Lima Romeo.
Edinburgh radar, Golf Lima Romeo, send.
Golf Lima Romeo, yeah, for onward clearance, contact Edinburgh Tower, 118.705.
118.705 and just north of the bridges at the moment. Golf Lima Romeo.
Flight 7 Juliet Delta, Roger, by Alpha 1, line up on weight, runway 06. By Alpha 1, line up on weight 06, flying the Juliet Delta.
That's so cool! I'm watching an aeroplane take off from above the runway on a zone transit. Edinburgh Tower, Golf Lima Romeo, overhead, runway 06 threshold.
Golf Lima Romeo, Roger. Golf Lima Romeo, yeah, so you remain on my frequency until outside the zone, so report when overhead Musselburgh and Golf Lima Tango report when you're changing.
I genuinely cannot believe I'm overhead Edinburgh. There's a good field there. There's a lovely golf course there. I kind of want to turn the cameras off to save the batteries, but this is quite spectacular. And there is Edinburgh Castle. I really can't believe I'm doing this. Other people might say, what's the problem? But doing it something as exposed, nimble, makes it feel more real, really. And as a standing joke goes, is that Stirling Castle? No, it's Edinburgh Castle.
Yeah, brilliant. So thanks Gordon, Jill and Graham for all your help, and Mike, sorry I missed you as well, but wow, what an amazing airfield you have. I think we're all pretty shattered now, aren't we? I could do with some food.
I'm ready to go again.
You ready to go again?
Let's do the next bit.
You know when we started the video series, what was it? I've got a crazy idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we still on the crazy ideas, are we?
Well, it's kind of a reality now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So, anyway, I think...
Try and bump start it.
Take off!
So here is the last two videos, and they're not going to be quite what you think, in as much as they were moments in that year or my flying journey that really made me, how to put it, challenge my flying. And the last two videos were quite challenging, and taking my aircraft up to see how little fuel I could use in an hour, thermaling and just trying to core thermals, etc., to see whether my aircraft would do it, was just such an achievement for me. Although those will say the engine was still running, it was in such a low idle. Every time I fell out of a thermal I was going down at 300-400 feet per minute, so I was definitely going to be on the deck quite quickly. But the thermal challenge, so let's dig into that video and let you see some of the highlights from my perspective.
My goal is to get to cloud base. Well, I'm definitely on an RPM setting that is meaning I'm going down if I'm not in thermals. 600 feet. I know a lot of you have been sitting in the video laughing at me, but do you know what? I'm just having fun. I bought a book by Derek Piggott, Understanding Gliding, and in there's a huge chapter about how to understand thermals. And I need to dig that back out, I think, and have another go. That looks like there's a bit of a thermal there. There's a bit. Right, let's see where that takes me. There's something. There's some birdies over there. Unless they're playing, they might be in a thermal. Yep, they're in a thermal. They're definitely in a thermal. Very stable thermals today. Right, let's crank round. Let's get back in that. Let's get back in that thermal. Try and get back in that. Just trying to visualise where this thermal is by the numbers. And keeping a good lookout. I'm in something, because I'm going up. Right, let's tighten up there. Let's try and find this thermal. Now, thermally in a glider is nice, because you can see above you. Whereas with a hang glider wing, or a delta wing, yeah, it's a lot harder to see where it is. 1600 feet, 1700 feet there. Let's see, I start from 1700 feet. Let's see if I can stay in this one. Get back up. Come on, give us some uppity. There's 18.
So let's look at the final video, and for me this video was all about making the right decisions. Flying doesn't always go right, flying always doesn't go the way we think it's going to be, and this is actually the diversion video where I ended up landing and diverting into Husbands Bosworth due to weather. Now those that have seen the video and the follow-on camping video, so there are a few additions. If you haven't seen that content, please go and dig into the channel and have a look. But landing there and being safe and meeting up some friends, etc., and chatting to people on the ground just made it all that more memorable. But it was just the fact that as pilots we always strive to be better, we always strive to make good decisions, and this for me was kind of that culmination of making good decisions.
And I'm still averaging over 400 feet a minute, over 500 feet per minute climb rate at max takeoff weight. Wow! So this is all actually a bit exciting for me, As much as I'm probably not saying anything at the minute and being quite quiet, I'm just trying to make sure I'm navigating correctly. Because the viz is legal. I've got loads of viz. It's a bit murky. I kind of want to be about 1,200 feet. Enough for landouts. The wind's from that direction, so that's the direction I'll be turning for my landing.
Somewhat further down the line, I think I'm nearing just northwest of Rugby. Yep, here it is on the map. And so the visibility has been starting to descend now. That's about 40 odd miles in, and it's my height has only dropped by about 500 feet total. As I say, it's been bouncing up and down, and I'm now getting to the point where I'm looking at it and going, is this just one of those another ones where it bounces and lifts back up again, or am I going to have to start making decisions? And then there's a bit in my back of the brain goes, if I land here I may not be able to get out, but also I know that there is an airfield, Husbands Bosworth, which is going to be coming up in a second. So I climb out to give myself more time. Now in my mind I've got fuel, so I've got time, I've got the ability to make decisions while I've got that fuel. So I'm climbing back out and I'm looking at the chart going, yeah, Husbands Bosworth isn't actually far away, there it is. So I'm now turning on final for Husbands Bosworth. The cloud does come down a little bit more, but again it is in those little pulses where it sort of drops down and comes back up again. But the thing in my back of my mind is Husbands Bosworth is a known surface area. It's got good surface under the wheels, and there are going to be people there if I do inadvertently have an accident. Whereas in a field, I'm not going to be able to have that. Now bear in mind, this is all in the space of 5 minutes. The aircraft's moving, I'm trying to navigate and remain safe and make decisions. And this is the point I'm trying to get across in the video is, it's all well and good making decisions in the cold light of day at a table or in a structured lesson, but sometimes when it happens in real life, that's when it counts to land. And that's where we'll wrap up this debrief. Well, this is a novel moment. Basically, I'm at Husbands Bosworth right now. The club chairman, Simon, who's somewhere over there, I think they've got a competition on this week, I was just walking around the Perry track, has come over and introduced himself. They thought I was Clive Mason, so sorry Clive, it was me today. But the reception will be very helpful, so I diverted in here because the cloud base was going down and down and down. It's safer to be on the ground than in the air, but it wasn't supposed to be forecast, so even the gliders are out today waiting to go up. And the first question they asked me when I walked in was, what was the cloud base? But other than that, the machine's here, I'm safe. I'm going to go in the cafe and go and have a cup of tea and warm up, and then wait for the cloud to lift, and then clear off into New Farm. So I hope you've enjoyed that montage or snippets of the last 2023's worth of flying. There were so many more flights, so many more adventures and journeys. I've had a lot of comments in my Instagram channel, be here on the screen, and some direct messages. If you haven't seen the flight briefing room, that is the other channel that I'm trying not to flood the forums with. I'm trying to put as much of my content on that Facebook page as well. But please, if there's been a memorable video over the last 12 months for you, please drop the channel a comment with the video that you liked and why. And I'll probably do a follow-on video, say, of what you've enjoyed about 2023 from the channel side of things, and where you want to take your flying as well. So please drop your channel in there. I will read out the comments, probably on a flying video or a follow-up video to this. I really hope that's been a good introduction to 2024. The back end of 2023 was just atrocious for flying. I've never done so little flying in ages, but I hope this is a good introduction and we're going to have a good flying year in 2024. Thank you for joining my channel. For those that are new, please follow along. For those that are old, always good to see you in the comments. It's all about the flying community. So until next time everybody, fly safe, see you in the comments.